right. Welcome everybody
Hey
to
guys.
the Marriage Proactive
Holiday Proactive.
Holiday Proactive. So
Marriage tune-up.
we'll try not to say proactive 600 times. But we're so glad you guys are with us. God put it on our heart a few weeks ago, a couple months ago, actually, to just invest in couples as we head into the holidays. And so we are glad that you have joined us. Kate went through the Facebook group today.
Yeah, today I went through the group just looking at who is with us, and it was fun to see names that and familiar names that we know and do life with, and then some names that we don't know. So we're just welcoming everybody in, and I was just
so cool.
Really excited to see what will happen. I mean, we might not even hear all of it, but we just really believe in what is going to happen for each of you.
Yeah. And so for those that don't know us, I'm Ryan, this is Kate. We pastor Living Waters Church in Medford, Oregon, and we are excited for what God's going to do through this time. And so we've been married for almost 19 years. We have 4 kids. Our oldest son is 12, and then there's like a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old just turned 4. So we have 3 boys, older, and 1 girl who is 4, named Mercedes.
Yeah.
So we love working in as pastors, but really one of our passions is marriage. And so to get to do this with you guys and be involved in any way and bring health to your marriage is such a joy for us. So we wanted to start out by just saying what this proactive is and what the goal is. And so I wrote this down. So here's our goal. When Kate and I were talking about what we want this to accomplish, it's once a week, 1 short video, 1 prompt. There's not a lot to it, but our goal, honestly, is for you guys to enjoy the holidays in your marriage, that you would be able to stay connected, and that you would have a game plan going in. So that's going to be our big thing.
Yeah.
So that on the other side of the holidays in January, when you're laying down in your stretchy pants, that you have come through the holidays relaxed, refreshed, without regrets in your marriage and without areas that need to be rebuilt. So you're on the other side of the holidays because of your intentionality. You're feeling super connected and really healthy in your marriage, and you're ready to head into 2020 to have the best year yet in your marriage.
Yes.
So, and that is the possibility. That's really the goal. Every year to get better.
Yeah. So we really felt like through the holidays, it's so exciting, as we prepare just with all the festivities and all the fun, but it also, there's a level of stress that comes with it. So we really felt like having a game plan and kind of having a jump start on like what you want to have for the holidays in your marriage, within family, and all the extension of that
brings up a lot.
Yeah. So we want to have
and what can happen is stuff comes up through the holidays that Kate's talking about: stress, finances, family, disconnect that happens. All that can say you can put your marriage on the back burner and kind of go into survival mode. And we want to stop that. We want your marriage to be the gift, your healthy marriage to be the gift that you give to everybody. That the overflow of that is going to be so powerful for everyone in your life, whether you're interacting with family or different social obligations, or how you guys are interacting with one another, with finances, with family, with kids, all of that.
Yeah.
Don't put your marriage on the back burner. Let it lead you. Let the health of your marriage lead you through this season. Yeah. So that's what we want to go after. So our first week, this video, we want to talk about being proactive in getting on the same page, being unified as you go into the holidays. And so what we want to do, the way we want to do that is we want to first challenge you to invite agreement. So how will you be proactive to invest and prioritize your marriage together and into one another, investing in one another emotionally, spiritually, physically? How are you going to do that? You have to invite agreement. So in inviting agreement, what you're going to do is you're going to sit down and you're going to have a conversation. And the conversation is going to go like this: what are we agreeing on that we want to prioritize? What are we agreeing on that we want to experience in these holidays? When we look back, what do we want to be able to say? And so that doesn't happen by accident. So you have to start today or tomorrow, whenever, as early as you can, by sitting down together and just having a conversation, inviting each other into agreement about what your goals are and how you want the holidays to look for your marriage.
Yeah.
So inviting agreement, and then as you have that conversation, you're going to define expectations. And so remembering that communication is not for transference of information, communication is for connection. And so as you invite agreement, this is what we're aiming for. You're going to define what all the expectations are. And so, as you know, not to belabor the point or go too deep into the weeds here, but as you define expectations and as you go through the holidays, there is 1,000 different things going on. And if you don't have the same expectations about all those things, it can get really messy. And that's when fighting and disconnect and frustration start to happen.
Yeah. Because even as we think of the holidays, like right now I'm thinking of the holidays and I have like all these things and I'm like, oh yeah, this and this and this. He's a completely different person. Amazing.
We'll just see what we're gonna do today.
And he has a different set of even ideas and wants and desires, and from family time to like, I want to have a date with you every week during the holidays. You know, like all those things I don't know. So that's where the communication is starting out. Like even this week, like what do you want the holidays to look like? Asking like very practical questions is going to help you with all those amazing memories to come.
So practical questions that we would encourage you guys to ask. So you're sitting down, you're going to invite agreement, you're going to talk about the goals that you have, you're going to define expectations, and then you're going to communicate to create connection.
Yeah.
And then by asking these kinds of questions. So here's just a few examples. You can ask whatever you want, but how much family time do you want as a couple? Like how much extended family, or or do you want only your family to have more prioritized time this year? What does family time look like? And how much do you want to have external family, extended family? Sorry, not external family, the extended family.
Yeah.
What do you want to do as a couple? So is there certain things that you want to look back and say, I love that we did this, or last year we did that, and I want to make sure we do that again. And so you're creating tradition by being intentional, by being proactive.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? What kind of outings do you want to have? Is it with kids? What kind of outings do you want to have together? What do you want to do as your family, your smaller family? How much money do you want to spend? Finances, disagreement around finances, huge. Those are a lot of the fights that we get to help people clean up. Spending too much, not being honest about finances. So this gives a chance right out of the gate to be honest. How much money do you want to spend? What events do you want to prioritize? There are, as Kate was saying, there's 1,000 different events already probably, and all your ugly sweater Christmas parties, and all your friends want you to come over, and your parents want you to come over, and everybody, aunts and uncles want to see you.
Yeah, company parties, all these things. So I think getting down to those of like, okay, you know, what events do we want to do? Yeah. If we go to a company party, do we want to go? You know, like you don't have to get so detailed that it's like, we said we'd only be in here an hour and now we have to leave right now. You know, like there's of course flex in that, but just being ahead of the game and going like, yeah, let's do an hour and a half. And then maybe afterwards we can go out and get dessert or something, you know, like, but just having that communicated, and then also like what events or even traditions do you want to like just stop doing? Like, you know, we've always gone to the mountains. Yeah. To get a Christmas tree. I'm over it. Let's just go to a parking lot and pick a tree. You know, like, so those are those things of just inviting conversation, having, and it doesn't have to be long conversations of just like,
but you're being proactive to set the standard and say, this is what we want to do, this is what we don't want to do. And we wanted to give you permission. If you don't have it, here you go. We're giving you permission to do less clutter, less hurry, less hustle, less events. Try not to fill your calendar with all of the different things, and start with the conversation that you guys are going to have. Like, what do we want to value in our marriage? What do we want to value in our family? What events and traditions really matter? And then which ones end up straining us and stressing us out? And then how are we going to walk into those? So we'll talk more next week about how to handle family stuff and the different things that come up, because I know that's a lot of why you need to have healthy boundaries, and you have to give yourself permission to not be at everything. And if there are things that are creating strain in your marriage or a struggle for you relationally, you know what? It's okay if you're not at everything. So just be thinking about that as you guys are communicating.
I just want to say real quick, one thing that you would even, it might be like kind of funny, but going through the practical things of like, what do we even, as we sit and think about the holidays, like what do we want to even feel like, you know, like within your body of like,
not just what you want to do.
Yeah. But like, I want to be at peace, you know? And so even including that in your conversation, it was just a thought I had, but just even going like, I want to just be content, you know, like I want to be like filled with joy and not this high stress. So even starting to like have a goal of like what you want your environment and your body, your mind. So that's,
and so that helps us with what we want you guys to do. So your action step really simply is, as we wrote at the beginning of this, we said, hey, this proactive is that you would enjoy the holidays, you would stay connected, and you would have a game plan going into the holidays. So that's kind of that's what we decided, that's what we want to do. So we want to challenge you to write something very similar to that for your marriage. As you guys meet, you talk, you connect, you define expectations, you communicate. that you would write down your 2 or 3 sentences. This is our goal for our marriage through the holidays. And so that when you look back in January, you can say, this was our guiding vision for that we came back to. And so we made this is our manifesto. This is our, if you want to get really crazy about it. But so what we want you to do is we want you to share that on the group page if you feel comfortable. If you want to do it in more general terms, if you write something that's like super specific and you don't want to share all the specifics, you can write something generally. But we would love to hear from you as a couple in the next couple of days. So early on, don't push all your homework to the last minute, but like do this, sit down, talk, and say, what do we want to write down as how do we want to feel? What do we want to do? How do we want our marriage to be flourishing at the end of the holidays? And so if you guys would write that down, that would be awesome. Just give us a chance to be able to see and encourage one another and celebrate one another. And really, this is going to be fun to be able to share a little bit of that and hold each other accountable. So there you go. That is video 1 and homework assignment. Kind of one.
It's fun.
It's fun. Have fun with it. Yeah, no fighting. Not too much. All right.
Okay. See you later, guys.
See you guys.